Hello, good morning fellow Lego addicts. I hope you're all doing fantastic. The video I've been waiting on, but maybe some of you have also been waiting on, is finally here. It is my huge city redesign. It was so much work, but I'm very excited to share with you all the updates that I've been doing. It's still a work in progress because some of the things that I want to add are, still releasing on January 1st, for example. But like, so much has changed. I'm super happy with the way things look. So I hope you're going to enjoy the video. Let me know what you think. And let's just roll the footage because this is a video that's long enough as it is. Alright, so now we are at the most difficult moment in this whole expand your city endeavour, which is I now need to decide on a layout for the new cabinet, which means I need to think about what I want to have sit on this cabinet, because essentially, as I said, it kind of extends by one extra modular, so basically 2 32 by 32 base plates. But I haven't also, yes, it's on wide angle so you can actually see, but I don't know how I want things to sit. There is so much to be decided. This will stay the same. Also, what I want to think about is whatever is going to sit here, you can see through this sort of like train track. So I think whatever I put there as a modular, I want to kind of extend over the train. So like it looks like the train goes through a building. This is huge and you can definitely see this on stream. So I want this to be a cool modular. Have to think about what that is going to entail. This mock was nice, but I think this is going to be updated to something new, but maybe not now. That's just a future plan. I may have bitten off a lot. Alright, this is my current 15th iteration of the modular plan after kind of moving lots of stuff about. Also, obviously, all these modulars removing stuff is made worse by the fact that some of them have lights and they are really tricky to move. But it's okay. As you can see, Assembly Square has not moved. Everything else has been moved in the meantime. This is literally the 15th place where the detective officer sat. I do like the detective's office. I just don't think it works here just because of how low the second building is. So if I were to want to keep it, I may want to have a third level, but I probably won't keep it there. I just thought it looked quite nice. It does also look really nice next to Assembly Square. Then this building has lights, so can't be shown from the back, which is a bit of a pain, but I have tried it next to Assembly Square and it does kind of look interesting next to Assembly Square, but then you get the two tan buildings right there, so it could possibly sit there, but it does look very nice there, but then you have the two tan buildings there. What I do think looks really nice is this one here. I think this looks really swish. I may change it to just having one tree, but I think this looks really nice there. Like the stairs with this building on the side works perfectly. I think I've tried this one before actually when I was placing that module in particular, but then I couldn't figure out what I wanted here. So yeah, also obviously need to bear in mind whilst I'm placing all of these that the boutique hotel is coming very soon, and obviously I kind of want that to have a pretty prominent place because I really love the colour of that. I think it's really breaking sort of like the pattern of colours that we have because it's such a unique new colour, even though there is nougat in it, so they need to kind of be further away from the nougat buildings. So that may possibly go sit here eventually, I don't know. This moving of modulars is causing chaos in the city. People are on the floor, lanterns are locked over. This is an accident waiting to happen. The reindeer is broken loose, the signs are down. The Santa sleigh has crashed. It's all going wrong for my citizens. Terrible disaster with the tree falling over. I think this can work. I just don't know if I like this. I just can't make up my mind whether I like this or not. Okay, after much head scratching, I may build that in mirror so it can sit against that wall and have the river on the side and it's gonna all be nice in front of the train. I may rebuild that also in mirror, my mock I mean, and also build it in dark tan with red accents and dark bluish grey so it kind of complements a diner rather than mirrors its colour scheme. And this is the situation here, which I like. I just don't know what to put there. My brain, it feels frazzled. The undecidedness continues. More chaos has happened in Brooksworth. I like this, I like that, I like that. Don't like that, but I like that better than something else. I've actually built the second townhouse just to see if that looks somewhere nice, because I thought maybe it'll bring a pop of colour that is kind of needed in this row, but it didn't really do what I wanted it to. But I think this is possibly a keeper. I do think these three modulars should stay here because they kind of have a similar architectural style. I think they really kind of work together. I don't love this bit of the building, and I made changes and mock it, but I think that works together, and I kind of think that the stairs there kind of work, though I may move it. Hello, good morning. This is the state I left the Lego room in yesterday. As you know, I was kind of mocking some bits, so I've started updating this. Oh, everything is stuck on each other. I've started updating my ramen shop mock with varying levels of pleasedness and success. This is kind of like the situation of it right now. I don't like the facade. I don't like the facade as much as I would like, but I do think the dark tan, even though it looks a bit differently in this light, works quite well. The reason I was going to change it is because it's going to sit next to the diner, and the diner obviously was using a very similar color scheme in the building to this, which was tan and turquoise. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to update both this and then the roof bits to red. So actually, even though I was using the turquoise from this bit to kind of like drag through the building, but I'm going to just use red as an accent colour, because that way, and dark tan, so that way it's going to actually blend in quite nicely with the diner, and it's not going to like compete for the same colour scheme. So I've made a few updates to the detective's office of things I didn't like. I've added this tree. I feel like it creates a little bit more like dynamic things for that row of houses. I think it kind of adds a bit more detail. I've changed these. Ooh, I hate the colour scheme. I've changed these sort of like see-through tiles. It doesn't really matter because there's no lights in the detective's office at the minute. I think it will change when I add a kit, but I didn't like that those were red. I just really felt it was like jarring with the green of this. And also I've updated the tiles. I didn't like the colouring of it. I felt like it was too muted. Considering the vibrancy it sits with, I just felt it was a bit grimy, so I've updated them to dark red and light bluish grey. I actually moved the tiles that were there before to the back so I don't lose them, but I just kind of decided that that's a sort of a change that I wanted to make. I think it kind of looks nice. I'm going to obviously be adding minifigures later. So I'm going to have to do a bit of work on this area because I want to have the Persian restaurant sit here. I thought that looked really good. Can you tell I'm undecided? So I think it's the best place for it. And then I was sort of like started thinking, actually, when the boutique hotel comes out, do I want it to sit there? Because then it's sort of in a really prominent position when I film and when I do lives, because you can see it really well. And actually that may be really good. Plus the way that sits and is oriented, I think is perfect for this corner. So maybe I need to leave it empty and actually put the Persian restaurant somewhere else, but have the boutique hotel sit here, because I think generally like that's gonna look really good on live streams and everything, and it's such a cool building and it's a bit taller. I've changed my mind literally on camera. Alright, I have started work on this thing. So as you can see, it's now attached. There is the original base plate, here is the new one. What I did is I have moved the diner 5 studs back, so it's way closer to the edge there. And then it had more like room at the front, which will allow me to build like this little park. Originally, if you can remember, I had the 16 by 32 base plate as well. It had the park, it had the 2 trees, and then I had like the pet shop behind it, or originally the bookshop and townhouse. But I thought with the diner moved back, it kind of created so much space. It's like a little bit of a bigger park. I don't know if I'm going to add a tree back in, because in a way I quite like how the diner sort of sits here and it like kind of moves up to there, and with the lights in this diner it's going to look pretty good. But I think it's quite a nice little open space that I'm adding to the city. I'm going to have to add it in place and kind of see how it feels when it's actually in situ, but this is sort of what I've been working on now. Let's see what it looks like. So this is kind of what we have, and actually looking at it right now, I think maybe I will put the tree there just so we have that sort of like filling thing. However, I think it feels quite sort of lovely, and I think it's like a nice little park area. The only thing I can think of is like when you sit here, and this is kind of like how you look at the city, it's a really empty space and you can't really see anything filling that space here, but then from this side it looks really cool. So I'm not sold on it. I may end up cutting a custom plate for in front of here and just making this a bit smaller and having the diner sit a bit further forward, but I think it works well with this modded new thing. Alright, I've changed my mind again. So I've decided I like this setup. I think it works. my issue obviously was that you can't really see much when you're sitting like here, which is generally where I'm sitting. So I've decided, after mirroring my old build, I'm gonna mirror it back. I'm gonna mirror this little ramen shop mock to go sit back where it essentially originally sat, just with these new details. And then I'm gonna mirror the diner as well, so it can sit like on this side, which does mean you won't be able to see it very much from where I'm generally sitting, but it does mean you see it quite a lot from essentially like on camera and things. So I think that will work. I'm still undecided if I'm gonna kind of make this slightly more like narrow so you can still see it, like the diner is gonna come forward like a little bit, but it does mean that I have to redo the entire diner. You know, I love creating new work for myself. Why make it easy when you can decide to rebuild a modular 3 times, right? Like, it seems ridiculous. So that is what I'm doing. Meanwhile, it looks quite pretty and festive though. But yeah, obviously, like, this is still very nice. I've kind of put this in the middle for now. As you know, I obviously decided to put the boutique hotel there once I've got that. So I'm pretty happy with this look. It means that the art gallery, El Cubo or whatever, is going to face the river, which I think is going to look pretty cute. I've also decided that we're going to design a custom modular set there, probably with the help of James, which I am very excited about. So that is possibly what will be happening. Alrighty, so I've been looking very seriously into plans for how to kind of optimize using this space. As I've kind of been discussing in recent videos, there is so much we can do here, and I really want to make sure that I make the most of it. I'm still pretty set on keeping these modulars as they are, just right here. I really think they look lovely next to each other, and they kind of really complement their colour scheme, so I think I'm going to keep those there. Now, as any LEGO fan knows, I am sure, if you start looking at Rebrickable, many things can happen. Most of them will include you spending money of some kind, and I have found various mocks that I really love, so I've just kind of been seeing if I can possibly buy a few mock constructions. I've finished the ground floor of this building. It's looking really cool though. I'm slightly worried about the price of this, like buying all the parts, but that's a problem for future Johanna. I've had to obviously extend it by 3 studs in order for it to like sit flush with the pet shop that I will sit next to, so that has been a bit of a thing. I think that's going to get harder as I move up, because obviously then I'm going to be at the mercy of the plate sizes, but again, that will be a problem for future Johanna. So yes, I'm very excited about this thing. It looks so pretty. So some of my bricks arrived from Bricklink, and it meant that I've started basically finishing this one here. Look, I'm actually really happy with it. So you can probably see that there's a few things still missing. So I'm missing some white square windows. I'm missing some 1x1 dark tan. I swear I'm always missing 1x1 dark tan. But I've also decided as an additional detail to add these things on the side, because all of a sudden I was like, actually that would look quite nice because I'd add a bit more detail on the side as well. And I think the colour combination with the diner looks quite nice. I'm glad I still have my mock. I definitely think it was worthwhile updating it to kind of make sure that it could sit comfortably next to the diner without clashing in its colour scheme, but still sort of complementing it with the white at the bottom with the turquoise. So, and as you can see, I finished mirroring the diner as well. I went back and forth myself on this a lot because, I don't know, it's a lot of work, and also it's hard to tell if it's going to work out until you've actually done it, but I think it looks okay. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I definitely think this is more comfortable this way than with the sort of big turquoise round there. It just means that the little alleyway is more accessible. There are still a few things loose and things I need to tidy up. I think for now I'm really happy with how this is turning out, and yeah, it took a lot of back and forth. Parisian restaurant is sitting here, anticipating the boutique hotel sitting here. So I'm going to just leave that all open here. That is what's going to be sitting here. I think it's going to tie in really nice with this colour scheme, because that's not nougat, that's dark orange and white. I think that's going to tie in really beautifully with the boutique hotel. And then on the other side, I've been kind of playing around with how deep this is, how much room I'll have. Basically, I figured out that there will be 3 16x32 base plates. I just need to decide how I want that all to tie in together. We'll have seen the update for what I want to have sit here, so I'm working on all of that. So that's going to be a remock of that sort of dark red house, which is going to look fantastic. And then this is kind of the bottom at the moment. this is all hugely temporary. Alrighty, well let me know in the comments what you think of the redesign, if you think that after moving everything about 2 million times, I've chosen the right positions. As you know, with anything to do with the city, it is always such a huge work in progress. Things always end up sort of moving around. Who knows, when I get the boutique hotel, I may decide it needs to sit somewhere else. But I think in front of the railway line is going to be a really appropriate place for it. And I'm really excited to be adding it to the city, honestly. I'm also kind of making 2022 the year of the light kit. So hopefully I'll be able to add more lights. My next video, incidentally, will be about me adding more lights to the city. As you know, I have the prison restaurant, the diner and Assembly Square lit up at the minute, but I've added so much more. So why don't you go check that out next? Don't forget to subscribe and like and turn on notifications if you want to be notified when that video is going out. It'll be just after Christmas, and I will leave you there. Thank you so very much for your support. Shout out to all my fantastic members, especially to these wonderful VIP members that are making this all possible, and I will see you all very soon. Have a very Merry Christmas, or just some fantastic days depending on when you're watching this, or if you celebrate Christmas, and I will see you all very soon. Bye! Hello!